right. All right. Shalom. Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shabaraka. Thumb to all the Akim out there. Yahweh Shamar Alatham Bahashim Yahweh Shad. To all the Akwakian out there. Shalom, sis, Thakaya. She's in class. Well, hopefully other Akim will join us in class tonight. All right. Last week we did the Lord's Prayer. Okay, and we're going to continue that this week. Okay, so let's start off. We'll start off doing a review. I'll wait till other people get in here, but we'll start off with a review of what we talked about last week. So last week we started off with Yahweh Shah praying to. He was giving a pattern of how to pray. They said to teach us to pray, and he said, he showed them a pattern. He said, when you pray, you do it in this manner. Okay, I'm just saying shalom to the sisters in class. Shalom, sis. All right, and he started out. So what we're gonna do, if you are just joining us. Last week, I told you to make a list or make a column. Okay. I kind of try to put it on the computer today. Let's see if y'all can see it. All right. It kind of disappears a little bit. All right. So if you can't really see it, I want you to make a column that has, let's see, 3. There it goes. Kind of disappears back and forth. All right. I'll just tell you what it's a column has 3 columns, 1, 2, and 3. All right, so you make 3 columns. And the first column, I want you to put Hebrew word. Okay. The second column, I want you to put English meaning. And then the third column, I want you to write root word. Okay. So if you're just joining us, okay, on a blank sheet, I'll put this in the chat on a blank sheet. Okay, make 3 columns. I'll just say make. All right, 3 columns. Make 3 columns. Okay, 3 columns. Okay, you just want 3 columns that you're going to make. Okay, and on the first column, okay, the first column, of course, you put Hebrew word. Okay. So I'll say column 1. Column 1, you want to put Hebrew word. All right, that's column 1. Okay. So that's column 1. You want to put Hebrew word. All right. Column 2. You want to put English meaning. All right. For some reason, my eye is not working on my keyboard. See if I can copy and paste it. I think I did that. English meaning. All right. Bear with me one second, of course. English meaning, that's in column 2. Now put that up. All right. Column 2, and then column 3, you can write root word. Okay, column 3, root word. All right, we're going to go over the Lord's Prayer today. We're going to do a quick review. Okay, so you should have columns 1, 2, and 3. Some of my keys are not working tonight on my keyboard, but so Salaki on that. Just bear with me if I'm trying to get a word on. Okay, but we're going to do a review of what we did last week, and then we're going to get into this week. So first thing, I won't be going into all like everything that we did last week because some people Got to get to class on time, but you may contact me if you need to get whatsoever you miss. But let's go over what we did last week. So the first word in the Lord's Prayer, or the first phrase, is Abba Nawa. Okay, Abba means father. Nawa means, I always like to say us, but we also translate it as our father. So Abba Nawa, I like to translate it as father of us, because Nawa is a suffix. It comes at the end. So two of the words, the root word is Abba, and then we connect the suffix Nawa, which means us or our. So Abba Nawa, father of us. Okay. The next one was Shabbat Shemayim. Okay. Shabbat Shemayim. Okay. Shabbat Shemayim. Shabbat, Shah means which. Ba in Hebrew means in. Okay. And then Shemayim means heavens. So our Father, which are in the heavens. Okay. Now, why we say which, now why do we translate it as which art in heaven, is because when we're thinking of the heaven, we're thinking of the place that the Most High dwells. But the word Shemayim is actually a plural word in Hebrew. So it's our Father who dwells in the heavens, or heaven, where the Most High dwells. Okay. All right. And then it was Qadash. Qadash after that means separate. Separate are you. Separate is your name. We say in English, hallowed be thy name, but really it's separate. Okay, that's Qadash. Then Haya means be. So Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Qadash, Haya. Haya means to be. Okay, all right. Then it's Shamka. All right, the word Sham in Hebrew is name. Okay. All right. The word, it's name. Ka is the suffix. Ka means you or your. So separate is the name of you. That's what Haya Shamka. Shamka means name of you. Okay. We translate it as your name, which is fine, but I'm just giving you, the literal translation. Separate is the name of you, your reputation. And a lot of times in the Bible, when they were talking about the name, they were talking about the reputation. Okay. You do things in the reputation of Yahushua. That's why it's in the name of Yahushua, which means in the reputation. So that's why the Most High did not want us to be like other nations, because that was for his name's sake, because he was a separate power, and that's why we had to be a separate nation. Because if we didn't act like a separate nation, then we were making his name or his reputation look bad. All right, that makes sense. So, Abanawa, our Father of us, Shabbat Shemayim, which art in the heavens, Qadash, separate, Haya, be, Shamka, the name of you, and then the name is Yahweh. Then we say Malak Wathka. This is all in the Lord's Prayer. Malak Wathka. Okay. Now, Malak Wath can mean a few things in Hebrew. It can mean kingdom, or it can be a plural word for kings. Okay. And they both, if you look at this prayer, they both can really fit. I'm going to tell you why, because now it's saying Malak Wath Ka. Okay. We know Ka means you. Okay, so it's saying kingdom of you, the kingdom of you. All right, and when you have a kingdom, that means you're ruling over many kings. That's what a kingdom was, usually a large realm that had a large territory that was ruling over a number of kings. Okay, so that's why kings and kingdom can kind of be synonymous. Okay, but the kingdom of you, Malak Wath Ka. That's what it means. Okay, come. The word is Thaba'ah. Okay, and this is all we did last week. Okay, separate is the name of you, Malak Wath Ka. The kingdom of you, Thaba'ah, come. Now, why is this a powerful statement? This is a powerful statement because you have to look, you have to think of this thing historically. I know when we read sometimes the Bible, or we read these prayers, sometimes we don't consciously take things in the its historical context. Why is this a powerful statement? Well, you got to think at that time, uh, Israel was under they were under the Romans. So if Yahweh Shah is saying this, your kingdom come, that's a direct threat to the Roman rule. That's a bold statement to say. Because, if his kingdom comes, what does his kingdom have to do? Has to take out who's in charge. So that's a bold statement to say around Roman legions, Roman, citizens, or even the Jews at that time who were in cahoots, the leadership at that time who were in cahoots with the Romans. Like the priesthood at that time was tampered with. Okay, they definitely weren't, they were definitely working with Rome. So if he's saying your kingdom come, that's a direct threat against Rome. Your will be done. So your kingdom come and flatten what's in charge of this kingdom. Okay, so that's what Malak Wav Ka Taba'ah come. Then the next one is Ratazayaka, your will, okay, or the will of you, okay, Ratazayaka, okay, and what's the root word? Ratazah, or Ratazah, that means will, and then Ka means real. So the will of you, okay, come, all right, okay, so your will, and then we have the next word, Haya, be, and then it's done, Aisha. Aisha in Hebrew means done or made. The will of you come or be made or done. That's what Aisha means. Okay? All right? I'm going to where we go to last time, then we're going to take some notes. Okay? The will of you be done or made. Then it says, we in earth as it is in heaven. Okay? We stopped at the last time where it says in earth. Now, I personally, it can be translated in earth or it can be translated in the land. I personally, like I told you last time, like the word in the land better than in earth because of the way we look at things now. When we think of earth, we're thinking of the globe. Okay? The mind of a Hebrew at that time, when Yahweh was saying this, when he's saying your will be done in the land. Well, what land is he talking about? It's the land of Canaan. Okay, that's the land he's talking about. Okay, so it's like your will be done in this land. Okay, in this land that was promised to Abraham, that was promised to Isaac, that was promised to Jacob. So your will be done in the land. That's why I like that translation better. Okay, and that's where we stopped. Okay, so now we're going to be moving on. Okay, and you should have your columns ready because now we're going to be putting stuff in the chat and translating it. Okay, so here we go. So the last thing we had was in the land, and in Hebrew is ba, land is aratazah. Your will be done in ba aratazah, aratazah's land. All right, so the next thing is kawa. So in your first column, where it says Hebrew word, we're going to say that is the word kawa. Okay? Kawa. Now put it on the screen. Okay? Kawa. Kawa in English can be translated as, and this is going to be your second column, can be translated as or like. I'll put that in the English column. So put this in your English column, the second column. Put the word as or like. Okay, the first word kawa, that should be in your first column in your Hebrew column. Okay, the next column over as or like, because that's what it means in English. So I'm gonna put this up. English column, that's the second column over. Put as or like. Okay, so we're saying Aisha. Okay. Ba'arataza, kawa. All right. So next we put After that, there's no root word for that. That's just how it is. Okay. So now we do. So let's always like to say the prayer over so we get it. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Qadash, Hayah, Shamka, Yahweh, Malak Wafka, Thaba'ah, Retazayaka, Hayah, Aisha, Ba'arataza, Kawa. Now we're at Kawa. And what is that? Your will be done in the land as Kawa. Okay, as. This is where we're at in the Lord's Prayer. Okay, all right, let's go to the next. We're going back to the Hebrew word. Okay, going back to the first column. And then we have Hayah again. Okay, so let's go to Hebrew. Put this in your column. Hebrew word, column 1, and put Hayah. Okay, can somebody put on the chat, what does Hayah mean? Let's do a little review. Hayah. See, he's paying attention. Okay, your will be done in the land as is Kawa. So what does Hayah? What does Hayah mean? Somebody put it in the chat. All right, give me about 30. Let's give about 30 seconds. What does Hayah mean? Be. Good. Okay, excellent. We got the sister, I think that's Sister Latoya. Excellent means be or become. Okay, so in your English column, that's your second column over. Okay, Hayah means be. Let's put it back up there. Okay, we have everybody participate. Excellent. I love participation. Okay, so in the English column, put be. Okay, I'll put Shalom up there, and let me see. English, okay, should be be. English column should be be. Okay, all right. As it be, okay. All right, let's go back. Now we're in the first column again. All right, Bashamayim. Okay, what does Bashamayim mean? So it's your will be done. Okay, Kawa, Hayah, Bashamayim. Okay, what does Bashamayim mean? I'll put it in the chat. Somebody tell me what that means. That shows who's been studying. What does Bashamayim mean? Anybody can put it in there, and I'll put it up. Okay, you're in your first column again. Okay, Bashamayim, excellent. So Bashamayim is in heaven. Okay, actually, let me put this up first. So we got Bashamayim. Okay, and in the English, you want to say in heaven. All right, that's what you want to say. You want to say in heaven. Okay, that's what you're going to say in the English. Okay, so, and you should actually be saying this with me. So we're going to go over again, practice saying the Hebrew with me so that you're good with it, and then we'll say it in the English. So what I'll say is I'm going to say it in the Hebrew and English together. All right, so repeat after me as you're at home. Have your kids in front of the screen so they're also doing this. Okay, Abanawa, Father of us, Shabbat Shemayim, which are in the heavens or in heaven. Okay, Qadash, holy or separate, Hayah, be, Shamka, name of you. This is the literal translation. Okay, Yahweh, that's the Most High's name. Malak Wafka, okay, kingdom of you, Thaba'ah, come, Retazayaka, the will of you, okay, Hayah, okay, be, Aisha, done or made, Ba'arataza, in the land, okay, Kawa, as, Hayah, it be, Bashamayim, in heaven. Okay, your will be done, okay, as it is in heaven. Okay, because we know that the Most High's will is going to be done. He's saying, bring that, have it be done in this land. That is that's a bold statement to say. Okay, we can't fathom it now because we're not in that time, but you got to put yourself in that time context. Okay, because they would have understood that. Okay, Remember, they wouldn't have just crucified Yahushua for just, you know how the movies portray Yahushua just walking around. They always making him look like, he's weak and soft, and, has a soft voice. Peter, follow me. It's really soft. That we have to get that out of our minds. Yahushua was a revolutionary. You have to understand Rome is not going to crucify you for nothing. Okay, so you got to think about that. Rome crucified insurrectionists, people that were, a problem to Rome or a threat. Okay, so you got to think, even if the Roman legions weren't around hearing that, the Jews, the leadership, okay, at that time would have heard that and be like, who does this guy think he is, making that statement? Because you got to remember, they were in cahoots with Rome. They were getting paid off of Rome. They were getting fat and rich off of Rome. Okay, so they didn't want. You got to think of the modern day Uncle Tom. He doesn't want this kingdom to be destroyed. Why? Because he's getting breadcrumbs from it. Okay, the modern Uncle Tom is getting fed off, or is getting rich, or getting the crumbs off of this system. He doesn't like revolutionary thinking. He wants the system just like it is, because he gets the crumbs off the table that the conquistador gives him, okay, or that the colonizer gives him. So you got to think, when the leadership heard that, like, who does Yahushua think he is, saying, your kingdom come, your will be done? He's going to mess up my money. Remember, that's why they were always plotting to kill him, because he would have messed up. You got to think, Yahushua's going over, knocking tables all over, talking about, my father's house won't be a den of thieves. You got to think what was going on in the leadership's mind. That's why they were plotting to kill him. That's why they brought up false witnesses, because this is revolutionary type thinking that's going to interfere with their livelihood. Okay, so that's how you got to think about when you think about him saying this prayer boldly out in the open. This is a bold prayer. This is out in the open. Okay, he wasn't saying it, in the corner. Okay, so that's why you got to think of why this prayer is so phenomenal. It's supposed to, what is the word I want to, unprecedented for its time. Okay, that's why this prayer is serious. Okay, now, okay, here goes the next one. So we're in, as it is in heaven. Now the next one is Nathan Lanawa. Okay, we're going to put the Hebrew, Nathan. Okay, so after it is in heaven, now go back to your Hebrew part. Nathan Lanawa. Okay, that's the next part. Go back to the Hebrew category. Nathan Lanawa. Nathan Lanawa. Put that in there. Then we're going to break that down. Okay. Can somebody take a stab at what they think Nathan Lanawa means? What does Nathan Lanawa you think mean? You should know what Nawa means because you've been in class. Okay. Think of going back to the beginning where it says Abba Nawa. Now we have Nathan Lanawa. Some of these words are going to keep repeating themselves. Okay, somebody put in the chat, what do you think Nathan Lanawa means? Who's going to take a stab at it? I'll give you about 30 seconds. But put this in your Hebrew part, Nathan Lanawa. Okay. All right. I see Thakaya put. Let's put up what Thakaya put. Give us this day. Okay, not bad. Okay, she's on the right track. Anybody else want to put something? Okay. Anybody else want to put something? Nathan Lanawa. Okay, and Thakaya got a lot of that correct. All right, anybody else? All right, let's put it. Let's go to the English. What does this mean? What does Nathan Lanawa mean? Go to your English column and write this. Nathan Lanawa means give to us. That's what Nathan Lanawa means. Give to us. Okay? And we'll break this down. Nathan Lanao means give. Nathan means give. La means to. Nawa means us. Give to us. Okay? So that's what Yahweh Shah is saying. Give to us. Okay? Give to us. All right? And now let's break it down. Now go to column 3, because we're going to show what each word means. Okay? Nathan in Hebrew means give. I'll put this in parentheses. Give. La in Hebrew means to. Okay? And then nawa, which you should know, means our, us, or we. Our, us, or us, our, and we. This will be in your third column where it says root words. Go ahead and put this in your root words. Okay? Now we're in column 3. Go ahead and put that. Nathan, give. La, to. Nawa, us. Give to us. All right? Nathan Lanawa. Okay? All right? Now, give to us. Let's go back. Okay? All right, Nathan Lanawa. The next word is lakam. All right, I think most people should know what this means. Lakam. So give to us. What is he asking the Most High to give? Give to us lakam. What is lakam in Hebrew? I think most people should know what this means. Give to us lakam. What is that in Hebrew? Put it in the chat. Let me hear you. I know if the Kaya is going to participate. Who else is going to participate? Give to us lakam. Okay, excellent. Latoria put in there. Lakam is bread. Give to us bread. Okay, that's what it is. I'll put it up on the screen. So in your English column, put bread. Give to us bread. Okay. All right. So Nathan Lanawa, lakam. Give to us bread. All right. And it also can mean food. Excellent. The Kai put another good translation. Lakam can mean bread or food. Excellent. Lakam can mean two things. So put in your English column, all right, put English column, food or bread. Put both, food/bread. That kind of covers both. So give to us food or feed us, give to us food. Okay. All right. Next one is I'm gonna put these together. Call Yawam. What does that mean? I'm gonna put those two together. The next thing is call Yawam. All right. So let's go over. I'm always gonna go over. Go with me as I'm going over this. Abanawa, Father of us. Shabbat Shemayim, which are in the heavens. Qadash, holy. Haya, be. Shamka, the name of you. Yahweh. Malakwathka, the kingdom of you. Thaba'ah, come. Ritazayaka, the will of you. Haya, be. Aisha, done or made. Ba'aratasai, in the land of Canaan, in the land. Kawa, as. Haya, it be. Bashamayim, in heaven. Okay. Nathan Lanawa, give to us. Lakam, bread. Call Yawam. Now, what does that mean? Put it in the chat. What does call Yawam mean? What does call Yawam mean? Give to us food. Call Yawam. What does that mean? Put it in the chat. How does that translate in English? Okay. Not bad. Latoya put for today. Not bad. Okay. Not bad. All right. I'm going to put that up. Not bad. We're almost there. So you almost have it. Okay. Not bad. Anybody else? give to us bread, okay? And you were close. That the sister was close. Okay? All right. See, Takaya put today. All right. We're pretty much on the mark. Call in Hebrew means all. You can remember that because that rhymes. All, and then Yawam is day. So give to us bread all day. Okay? That's how it translates in the English. That's how it literally translates. Give to us bread all day. Okay, so call, okay, and I'll put this up. So call, okay, so call in the Hebrew, you can put this in your notes. Call means all, and then Yawam means day. That's what it means. So give us bread. So really it's saying give to us bread all day. Okay? Provide for us all day. Okay? And you know, Yahweh knew the scriptures very well because he knew how the children of Israel in the wilderness and how the Most High provided for them all day. Okay? All day. Man should not live by bread alone, but by every word. He knew these scriptures. So it's like provide for us all day. Okay, nourish us all day. Okay? And you know why this is another? Okay, because you got to put yourself in that historical context. Why is this a bold statement? Because who provided for the leadership of the Jews at that time? Who provided for them? Come on, put it in the chat. Let's go. We want to go historical. Who used to provide for the leadership, the priesthood of the Jews at that time? Who provided for them? Come on now. I know y'all know. Put it in the chat. This is why this is a revolutionary type prayer. There we go. Rome. The Roman emperor. He was the one that was supposed to be providing. Okay? You see it with Yahweh, because guess what? I know does anybody know what the priesthood would do every morning for the Roman emperor? Does anybody know? This is a good historical question. What did the Sanhedrin at that time, the leadership of the Jews, the priesthood at the time, because they definitely had issues. Okay, and Yahushua knew that. Does anybody know what they would do every day for the Roman emperor? Does anybody know? This is why they were so corrupt. That was the word I'm looking for. The leadership in Yahushua's time was corrupt, the priesthood. Does anybody know what they would do for the emperor? Anybody know? All right, well, I'll give it to you. They would make a sacrifice for the emperor as well. Okay? So that, and because they made their sacrifice, so this is what the leadership would do. They're making their sacrifices for the Most High, of course. They had to make their 2 sacrifices in the morning. Okay? But they would also make a sacrifice in honor of the Roman emperor. Okay? And this is how, and then the Roman leadership actually picked or selected the priesthood. Okay? So they were the one who selected the leadership. So they weren't following what the Most High said in the law. They selected who they wanted to be in the leadership of the Jews at that time. So they were very, very corrupt. Okay, so they relied on the Roman emperor to provide for them. That's how they ate. Okay, Yahushua saying this in front of them is going straight and saying, "Give us the bread all day long. You provide." He's talking to the Most High. This is why we got to think why this is so revolutionary. Okay, you got to think of all the Toms at that time, the Uncle Toms, or really I don't really like the word Uncle Tom, the Sambos at that time. Okay. That they were the ones, the sellouts. Okay. Uncle Tom's really not the best word because you look at the history of Uncle Tom. Uncle Tom in that book was actually the one that was helping blacks. So the Sambos of that time, the sellouts of that time, they wouldn't want to hear that. Because now, if you're asking the Most High to provide for you all day, because you got to think the Most High was the one that was to be Israel's shield, their buckler, the one that provided, that means they would lose out on what they were receiving out of Rome. And once again, Yahweh Shah's messing with their money. That's why they always plotted to kill him. Okay, he didn't ask the Roman emperor to provide. He's saying, Father, give us this day all bread all day long. Okay, that's why I want you to get in, to see why this is such a revolutionary type prayer. Excellent. I'm liking the participation too. All right, so let's keep it going. So we were at Lathun hour. Give to us Lakam bread. Call all Yawam day. All right, now let's go to the next. Okay, the next is Wasalak Nawa. Okay, so I'm going to write it in there. So go back to your Hebrew word, and I'm going to break this word up. Wasalak Lanawa. Now, y'all should start being familiar with some of these words now. Okay, Wasalak Nawa. Wasalak Lanawa. Okay. So what's Salak now? I'm going to put that in the chat, put it up on the screen, go ahead and write this down. What's Salak now? Okay. Let's break this word up. What does Wasalak Lanawa mean? Break it up too. Put it in the chat. What do you think it means? You should know what it means because we're always saying the word salak all the time. Oh, salakia. Oh, salakia. Oh, salakia. So what does wasalak lanawa? You should know what la means and nawa. So break this up and tell me what it means. Wasalak nawa. Okay. See, Sister Latoya says means forgive us our debt. Okay. All right. On the right track. She's on the right track. Wasalak, because I'm going to give you the literal. Okay, so she's on the right track. Wasalak lanawa. What does that mean? All right, let's break this up. So, wa at the beginning of any word in Hebrew means and. So, wa and, that's what it means. I'm going to put this on the chat. Wa and you can put this in your second part of your chart. Salak. Salak means, okay? Salak means forgive. That's why we always say, yo, salakia. We're saying forgive me. Okay, wa salak. Okay. La means two or four. La can mean two or four. Okay. And then nawa means that once again, nawa means us. Okay. Our or us or we. Okay. So this is what it means. So it means, and forgive for us or forgive for us, wa salak lanawa. And I'll put the English in there too. And forgive for us. And forgive for us. So I'm going to put this on the screen. Wasalak lanawa. And forgive for us. Now I'm going to tell you why this is a powerful statement. There's a couple reasons why this is a powerful statement. Why is this whole prayer is very revolutionary. I'm gonna tell you why this statement is just as okay. I think people have it. Let me put this on the screen. And forgive for us. So wa means and, salat means give, and then la means to or for, and then now us. And forgive for us. This is a serious prayer, folks. When we see and break this down, it's a serious prayer. All right, and right in the open too. This wasn't a quiet prayer. Okay, and forgive for us. All right, while people are getting that now, let me pull something real quick. I think it's in Isaiah. I'm gonna pull a precept. I'm gonna get a precept ready while people are just getting that down. Because of course nothing works when you run it to work. Okay, and now the phone won't work. Doesn't want to work. Okay, I think it's in Luke. All right. Yep. All right, I got the. All right, let's keep it going. Okay, so and forgive for us. All right, now let's go to the next. All right, I'm going to say the prayer again. You need to say this prayer so you can memorize it. Abba, Father of us, Shabbat Shemayim, which art in heaven. Qadash, holy, Hayah, be, Shemkav, the name of you. Yahweh, the Most High's name. Malakwathkav, the kingdom of you. Thaba'ah, come. Ratazayaka, the will of you. Hayah, be, done. The will of you. Aisha, be done. Ba'aratazah, in the land. Kawa, as. Hayah, be, it be. Bashamayim, in heaven. Nathan Lanawa, give to us. Lakam, bread. Call, all. Yawam, day. Wasalak nawa, and forgive for us. Now we're on the next one. Ka. Okay, kawa, and put this in. Now we're back in the Hebrew. Kawab, waf, nawa. All right, y'all should be pros at this now. Kawawaf nawa. Okay, what does this mean? Okay, what does this mean? Go ahead and put it in the chat. Kawawaf nawa. Now you know what nawa means. So what does kawawaf mean? Kawawaf. What does that mean? Put it in the chat. All right, anybody put in the chat. What does Kawawaf mean? All right, come on. I know some people there. Put in the chat. What does Kawawaf mean? It's a plural word because it's got waf at the end of it. Okay, not necessarily. Well, us now means us or our. So what does Kawawaf mean? And forgive us our what? Kawawaf. I kind of just gave it to you. Our debts. Excellent. All right. Our debts. So Kawawaf now means our debts. So let's break this down. Okay. Put this in the English part, our debts. Go over to the root word part. We're going to break a couple words down. Okay. Kawab in Hebrew means debts or debtor. Kawab. Okay. Kawawaf, that's a plural word. When you see the word waf at the end, that's also a plural word. Kawawaf in Hebrew means debts. Debts mean it's like adding an S at the end. Debts. Okay. And then now once again means us, we, or our. I'm just putting this all in the chat again. Okay, so go ahead and put this in your notes in the root word. Now I'm going to show you in a second why this is an even more powerful statement. This is probably this prayer they were really plotting to kill, unalive Yahweh Shai. This prayer really was setting the tone. And if they didn't plan before this prayer, after this prayer, this would have really set the tone, because this statement, what he's saying, and forgive us our debts, this is a powerful statement too. Okay, this is a real powerful statement. Okay, so all right, let's put that kabawaf. So, debtor. I'm sorry, I spelled that incorrectly. Let's put that. It should be debt or debtor. D-E-T. You spell that correctly. It should be debtor. I should put an O there. It should be O-R, debtor. Okay, I'll put that. That should be debtor, not debt. Not D. I said that a little bit incorrect, but okay. But let me put this back up. Okay, kabawaf means debts. Nawa means us, or okay. So, all right. Now, so it's saying, forgive for us our debts. Okay. Kawab means debt or debtor. Kabawaf means debts. So forgive us our debts. Okay, let's go to the next. Kasalak nawa. Now he's saying, forgive us our debts. Kasalak. Okay, y'all should know these words now. I'm just saying them. Y'all should know, so these words should look for more familiar now. Kasalak nawa. So the next word is, our next phrase is kasalak nawa. All right, I'm just waiting for it to load in. Kasalak nawa. What does kasalak nawa mean? Break it down. You know what nawa means. You should know what kasalak means, and you should know what ka means. What does that literally mean? I want everybody to put in the chat to literally translate that. Kasalak nawa. Actually, salak is one word, so let me re-put it. Kasalak nawa. I want y'all to really break these words up so you know what each of these words mean. I'll rephrase it. Kasalak nawa. What is that really saying? All right, put that in the chat. What does that literally mean? Kasalak nawa. Should know what salak means. What is it saying? Kasalak nawa. Anybody know? I know sister, I know that Latoya has been on fire all night. Okay, I see Amma Shalom's been on fire too, Thakaya. All right, tell me what kasalat literally translated. Ka, translate ka. Okay, all right. You're close, Latoya, you're close. You got a, what does ka mean? You got salak, and then you've got, so your first two words are correct, Latoya. Okay, you just need to know what ka means. Not necessarily you in this context. That would be correct if it was at the end, Latoya. This ka is coming at the beginning. Okay, so you're using ka in the correct. It's just not in the correct context. But okay, ka means as in this context. When ka comes at the beginning of the word, it means as. When it comes at the end of the word, it means you or your. Okay, so ka means as. Salak means forgive. And then nawa means us. Okay? Yeshua, all right? So kasalak, as forgive us. Okay? Or as we forgive us, as forgive us. Pretty much as we forgive. That's how we translate it. But it's really translated as forgive us, like as we are going to forgive. Or you could translate it as forgive we. You could translate it like that. I'll put that up on the screen. As forgive we. Now it can be us, we, or our. As forgive we. Which really means as we forgive. All right? Now, We're going to do one more, and then I'm going to tell you why this is a really serious statement. Okay? Let's go to the last one, then we're going to break this statement down. You got to break this down to see, okay, what does this really mean? Why is this a bold statement? Okay, let's do the last one. Go into your Hebrew cart. Kawab, waf, kawawath. Okay, ya, nawa. Kawawath, nawa. Okay. This is the last one we're going to write in, then we're going to break this down. Okay. So put in the chat what this means. Kawabwath Yanawa. Kawawath Yanawa. Okay, shalom, Marcus. From Baltimore checking in, shalom. Okay, Kawawath Nawa. Okay, go ahead and what does that mean? Put in the chat. Then we're going to break this. We're going to really break this down. So what is this really saying? All right, nobody knows what Kabawath now means? We already broke it down earlier. Kabawath. What does that mean? Good, okay. Good. Latoria got it, okay. So Kabawath Yanawa means debtors. Remember, it can mean debts or debtors of all us. Okay? Go ahead and put that in the English part. Kabawath Yanawa, debtors of all us. So, okay, as we forgive the debtors of all us. Now, we're going to break why this is, this is a hardcore statement that Yahweh Shah did. You know, the ISBK, we say there's no cowards. Yahweh Shah was not a coward. A lot of people would not have said what he just said, okay? Because at the beginning of the prayer, if you notice, he was telling, ask them all, the kingdom will come, your kingdom come. This one, it's like this statement is really like a statement kind of like of action that he's asking the Most High to do. Okay? All right, let's break this down. Why is this? All right, let's reread the prayer, and then we're going to tell you, I'm going to show you why this is a bold statement. All right, Abba Nawa, Father of us, and say it with me as we're going over this. Shabbat Shemayim, which are in the heavens, which dwells in the highest heaven. Okay? Heavens is kind of like the highest. The third heaven they would refer it to, which is in the highest heaven. Holy, Qadash, holy, Hayah, be, Shamka, the name of you. Okay, your name is separate from all these other nations. Okay, Yahweh, Malak Wafka, the kingdom of you, okay, Thaba'ah, come. Retazayafka, the will of you, okay, Hayah, be, Aisha, done or made, Ba'arataza, in the land of Canaan, Jerusalem, Kawa, as, Hayah, it be, Bashamayim, in the heavens, okay, where you dwell. Nathan Lanawa, give to us, Lakam, bread, call, all, Yawam, day, okay, Wasalak Nawa, and forgive us, Kabawath Nawa, our debts. Cancel our debts. Kasalak Nawa, as we forgive, Kabawath Nawa, the debtors of all of us. Why is this a bold statement? We're going to end off here tonight, but we're going to break this down why this is such a bold statement. Now, Yahweh Shah, remember, is the one of the seed of David that is supposed to actually usher in this kingdom. And the people that time, thought Yahweh Shah was, that's what his mission was, to overthrow the Romans. And this statement, they would have really been like, oh, it's sealed. That's why, do you remember, y'all should remember when Yahushua was resurrected, they asked him, they said, Lord, are you going to restore the kingdom at this time? Because they heard prayers like this. Now, what is this statement so bold? I want y'all to go to Luke 4. Go to Luke, and I want you to go to chapter 4. Luke 4. Okay? So let's do a little research. Okay? Go to Luke chapter 4 and verse 16. I'm going to actually put it up on the screen. Let's go. I'm gonna put it up on the screen. So go to Luke 4, chapter 16 through 19. All right, go ahead and I'm gonna put it up the screen. Now I'm gonna go ahead and read it. Luke chapter 4, verse 16. I'm gonna go ahead and turn there. And he came to Nazareth, where he had been brought up. And as his custom was, he went into the synagogue on the Sabbath and stood up to read. Verse 17. And there was delivered unto him the book of the prophet Isaiah. And when he had opened the book, he found the place where it was written. Verse 18. He's quoting from Isaiah 61. We're actually going to go there too. He said, the Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because he has anointed me to preach the gospel to the poor. He has sent me to heal the brokenhearted, to preach deliverance to the captives, and recovering of the sight to the blind, to set at liberty them that are bruised, to preach the acceptable year of the Lord. That's verse 19. Now, when he said that, people were astonished because they knew where that was coming from, and they knew what the acceptable year the Lord was. They knew that. Okay? Now, you go to Isaiah. Let's go to Isaiah 61 because Yahushua was quoting that. All right? Let's look at Isaiah 61. Okay? Let's go to Isaiah 61. Go to Isaiah 61. We're going to read verses 1 through, let's just do 1 through 2. So Isaiah 61, verse 1. Yahushua is quoting this. So they understood what Yahushua was talking about. The Spirit of the Lord, of the Most High power is upon me, because the Most High hath anointed me to preach good tidings unto the meek. He has sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives. Highlight that, liberty to the captives, and the opening of the prison to them that are bound. Highlight that, because you remember the Israel, knew this was a prophecy that was to happen. They knew that there was going to be a time, okay, where the captives would be set free. They would be set free. They would be set in their own land, okay? Verse 2, to proclaim the acceptable year of the Most High and the day of vengeance of our power, to comfort all that mourn. So the Israelites knew the importance of this scripture because they knew that at the time when they were to be, their debts would be canceled, when they'd be set free, when they would get to go back into their land, where they would be set in their own land, and they would be from not under the captivity, and they know that there was going to be a proclaimed year, that this was going to happen. Now, okay, what year was, what acceptable year is that talking about? Now, we don't know the exact day or the hour, but they knew, they understood that debts would be canceled at a certain time or at a certain season. They knew that, okay? Now, you go over to Leviticus 25. We don't have time right now. Let me just see. I think it's Leviticus 25 or Leviticus 27. All right. Yeah. Leviticus 25. Right. It's in Leviticus 25. I'll let you read the whole chapter, but it talks about the year of Jubilee. Okay. And in the year of Jubilee, which was known as the year of their deliverance. Okay, that's when all things would be set back in order. Okay, where your debts would be canceled. Okay, all your debts would be canceled. You would be going back to your families. You would go back to your lands. The Jews understood that. Okay, they knew that. So when Yahushua is saying this, they're like, oh man, he's like, forgive us our debts. He's talking about the year of our release. As we forgive our debtors, because in the year of release, the year of Jubilee, you also had to forgive the debts of others. You also had to set your people that were working for you free, set them back home. Well, they knew this could only come when the Messiah was on the board, okay, when the anointed one. So they're like, whoa, wait a minute. This man is really going to usher this in, because he's asking, forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. Okay? And they knew when that was going to be happen. They knew that was going to happen. And then remember, he's reading this in the temple. Remember, he said, this day, this will be fulfilled. So you got to think, they're looking at this man saying all this. You got to think what's in the mind of a Jew. Sometimes we can't, at the Jew at that time, we are Jews. I'm talking about anciently, some of us were probably there, but I'm saying we got to put our mindset back then. When this man is saying this, you got to think the Jews that were in leadership heard this too. Like, wait a minute, he's going to usher in this? He's going to usher in the day of vengeance? Because remember, the year of the Lord where they were released was also the time of vengeance, when vengeance would be taken on the people that were persecuting Israel. That's why Isaiah 61 says that. It says the year, let's go back to that. Isaiah 61. Okay, you got to think what they're thinking, like, what is going on here? He's saying this. This is a bold, so who is this man? Okay, who does this man think he is? Verse 2, go to Isaiah 61, verse 2 again. To proclaim the acceptable year of the Most High and the day of vengeance. So they knew when their debts would be canceled and they would have to forgive debts, that will also be the time of vengeance. And they're like, this man is saying it. This man already said that it was going to be he's going to fulfill this, and he's now making the prayer. You got to think in their mind like, whoa, this is really happening in my time. Okay? This is why now you got to think the leaders in charge would have hated that statement, because once again, that means it would usher them out of their leadership positions. It would have been, this is like a segue, like meaning, wait a minute, our time is about to end. We have to get rid of this guy. He's going to incite Israelites to rise up and take us out. And now their debt's going to be kept. We're not going to have captivity over Israelites no more. We're not going to get fed. They're going to rise up. They're going to take over the Romans. That's why they had to go to the Romans and get help. Like, we got to crucify him. He's talking about overthrowing all of you, because he's making statements about debts being canceled. That means they'll be released. That means Rome will be overthrown. We have to crucify him. Okay, this is what he's saying. Forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. Okay, this is in the mind. So you got to think what they're thinking, like, whoa, our debts are going to be canceled? Okay, this has got to, who is this man that's making this bold statement? Remember, this is out in the open. Okay, so you got to think of why this prayer is very revolutionary. Okay, why this prayer was unprecedented at that time. Like, whoa. Okay, I'm mind of somebody's like, man, I'm living this? Whoa, who is this man? Okay, so think about that as well. Okay, as this, so next time when we're saying this prayer, we say it every Sabbath. When we're saying this, understand, okay, there's a serious meaning of this when it talks about your kingdom come, your will be done. Forgive us our debts, because this is all ushering in the deliverance of Israel and the vengeance on our enemies. This is all said in one package. Okay? Forgive us our debts. That means we'll be released. Forgive us our debtors. We have to cancel the debts that we've had. Okay? All right? So think about that. All right? And with that, I'm going to end off here. We're the ISBK. coming out of excellent. First of all, this was an excellent class, excellent participation. Okay. And with that, we are the ISUPK coming out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana. We have the Feast of Purim coming in soon, which will be on Monday and Tuesday of March 2nd and March 3rd of this. Would be a couple months from now, actually about 2 months, exactly 2 months. Tithes, which is Ma'ashara in Hebrew, which means the 10th. You just pay your tithes. Also, your Passover fee is $200 for adults. Make sure you get that in. You can also make a free will offering. There's no set number on there. We, if a brother and sister would like to court in the school, first, a new brother or sister is off limits for the first 6 months. After the first 6 months, if they would like to court each other, they must get permission from their priest or the captain that's in charge of that area. And then he will give you consent whether or not that you may court, and you can court for 6 months. And then if you are given permission to marry, you may marry. Also, please look online on Facebook for all the other things of ISUPK on the social media. Passover this year is in Texas, and it will be on April 4th. So make sure you're preparing, getting your Airbnbs, getting your flights. If a new young man would like to participate more in the school, I'm even more involved. He used to wear all black for a set amount of time, coming in with black boots, pants, hoodies, scarf. Everything should be getting all black if he would like to do more. And with that, I'll go ahead and say the end of it. Ahmad. Okay. Ahmad and Shabbat. Ahmadium. Barak. Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shah Barakatham, to all the Akim, Yagimatah, and then to all the sisters, Ahmadium, Shabbat, Barak, Yahweh Shabar Alatham, Thun by Hashem Yahweh Shah, Yagimatah. Class is missed.
Shalom, Israel. It's that time again. The ISUPK, under Commanding General Yohana, presents the Lord's 57th Annual Passover. That's right, the Lord's 57th Annual Passover, April 4th, 2026, in Houston, Texas. All Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans are commanded to observe the Lord's Passover. This will be the biggest Passover to date. You do not want to miss this. Fresh lamb, fresh wine, and bitter herbs as commanded by the Most High. Only $200 per person, ages 17 and up. The biggest event of the year. There is only one Passover, and it's under Commanding General Yohana. See you there, Israel. Shalom.
Nobody else there to compare to. Train for war, men of war, and war like apparel. Prefer our leaders, can't get between us. Watch where you stepping.